You know who you love, but you can't know who loves you. Tomorrow belongs to people who prepare for it today. Once you carry your own water, you will remember every drop. Pretend you are dead, and you will see who really loves you. If you pick up one end of the stick, you also pick up the other. Examine what is said, not who is speaking. A coward dies 1,000 times before his death, but the valiant man only dies once. If you want to know the end, look at the beginning. I'm the wisest man alive, for I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing. No medicine exists that can cure hatred. The wise create proverbs for fools to learn, not to repeat. The strength of the crocodile is in the water. People can be very strong in their right environment. Those who are absent are always wrong. By all means, marry. If you get a good wife, you will become happy. If you get a bad one, you will become a philosopher. The axe forgets, but the tree remembers. The only competition that matters is becoming a better version of yourself yesterday. Be nicer than necessary to everyone you meet. Everyone is fighting some kind of battle. Do not allow the belly to make you useless. He who digs a grave for his enemy might as well be digging one for himself. If you spit up in the air, it lands on your own face. No matter how big a child is, he cannot deny that he was once carried on the back of a woman. The man that has sex once and punches the virgin will soon have another erection. A woman is never old when it comes to the dance she knows. If you think you're too small to make a difference, try spending the night with a mosquito. Being happy is better than being king. Family names are like flowers. They blossom in clusters. So many little things make a man love a woman in a big way. A roaring lion kills no game. If a woman doesn't love you, she calls you brother. Your intuition is a whisper, not a shout. Listen closely to its guidance. Knowledge without wisdom is like water in the sand. Other people's wisdom prevents the king from being called a fool. No one is born wise. Don't try to make someone hate the person he loves, for he will go on loving, but he will hate you. One finger cannot pick up dirt. It takes many fingers. Be as you wish to seem. You always learn a lot more when you lose than when you win. If love is a sickness, patience is the remedy. Trouble does not discriminate. It comes to everyone at some point. Even the lion protects himself against flies. If the full moon loves you, why worry about the stars? We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children. If you close your eyes to facts, you will learn through accidents. He who refuses to obey cannot command. Wisdom is not like money to be tied up and hidden. He is richest who is content with the least, for content is the wealth of nature. If you climb up a tree, you must climb down the same tree. He who is not contented with what he has would not be contented with what he would like to have. A broom is stronger than a single twig. A child who refuses to be corrected will be corrected by life. One who marries for love alone will have bad days but good nights. A hunter with only one arrow does not shoot carelessly. Coffee and love taste best when hot. A cutting word is worse than a bowstring. A cut may heal, but the cut of the tongue does not. A tree cannot stand without roots. A flea can trouble a lion more than a lion can trouble a flea. Knowledge is a garden. If it isn't cultivated, you can't harvest it. If, while climbing a tree, you insist on going beyond the top, the earth will be waiting for you. One who causes others misfortune also teaches them wisdom. There are no shortcuts to the top of the palm tree. If you want to lift up the water, you use a cup, not a stick. It takes a village to raise a child. To love someone who does not love you is like shaking a tree to make the dewdrops fall. A fool speaks, the wise man listens. Slowly, slowly, porridge goes into the gourd. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Prepare now for the solutions of tomorrow. If love is a sickness, patience is the remedy. The good mother knows what her children will eat. It is not living that matters, but living rightly. The right way to begin is to pay attention to the young and make them just as good as possible. Your mistakes are stepping stones, not stumbling blocks. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. I cannot teach anybody anything. I can only make them think. Comparison is the thief of joy. Celebrate your own unique journey. One who plants grapes by the roadside and one who marries a pretty woman share the same problem. He who doesn't clean his mouth before breakfast always complains that the food is sour. Rising early makes the road short. He that beats the drum for the madman to dance is no better than the madman himself. There are no shortcuts to the top of the palm tree. You learn how to cut down trees by cutting them down. Rain does not fall on one roof alone. The highest realms of thought are impossible to reach without first obtaining an understanding of compassion. Bloom where you're planted. Your unique light makes the world a more beautiful place. The growing millet does not fear the sun. Watering a wilted dream won't revive it. Plant a new seed of hope. Your voice matters, even if it trembles. Speak your truth with courage. A closed mind is like a locked chest. Treasures are hidden within, but unreachable. When an old man dies, a library is burned with him. One who was injured and not to return the injury for on no account. Can it be right to do an injustice? And it is not right to return an injury or to do evil to any man, however much we have suffered from him. Wisdom is wealth. Iron does not blunt iron, it sharpens it. A man who pays respect to the great paves his own way for greatness. If you want to know the end, look at the beginning. You cannot clap with one hand. Only a fool tests the depth of a river with no feet. A child does not know the value of its mother's milk until it tastes cow's milk. An old dog knows all the tricks. If money were to be found up in the trees, most people would be married to monkeys. Better little than too little. No matter how beautiful and well-crafted a coffin might look, it will not make anyone wish for death. A small fire can burn down a large forest. Even the best dancer on the stage must retire sometime. To try and fail is not laziness. The loudest critic in your head is often the one who needs the most silence. True wisdom comes to each of us when we realize how little we understand about life, ourselves, and the world around us. A detour is not a defeat. It's a chance to discover a new path. When you marry a monkey for his wealth, the money goes, but the monkey remains. When the roots are deep, there is no reason to fear the wind. It is better to live as a lion for one day rather than 100 years as a sheep. Where there is no shame, there is no honor. Education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. A gift refused is not an insult. To find yourself, think for yourself. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. Your comfort zone is a hammock, nice for a while, but you won't reach the view from there. Every scar tells a story, but it doesn't mean the story defines you. You cannot shake a clenched fist. If a man is proud of his wealth, he should not be praised until it is known how he employs it. The heaviest burden is an unsatisfied heart. Do not look where you fell, look where you slipped. One should never do wrong in return. Normal street, any man, no matter how one has been mistreated by him. Life is a dance. Learn the steps so you can move to your own rhythm. An old goat remembers the taste of tender leaves. The elephant does not limp when walking on thorns. By crawling, a child learns to stand. Ears that do not listen to advice accompany the head when it is chopped off. All errors are amendable. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. Never have sex a woman who has bigger life problems. She won't enjoy it. Love is like a baby. It needs to be treated tenderly. The heaviest burden is an unsatisfied heart. Do not look where you fell, look where you slipped. You do not teach the paths of the forest to an old gorilla. Love doesn't rely on physical features. Only a wise person can solve a difficult problem. Where there is love, there is no darkness. If you want to be a good saddler, saddle the worst horse, for if you can tame one, you can tame all. Even the lion protects himself against flies. A head that is too big for the doorway will be humbled. Examine what is said, not who is speaking. To get lost is to learn the way. Building a life takes time and effort, much like constructing a beautiful mosaic. Rest is not weakness, it's the fuels for your resilience. Forgive yourself as readily as you forgive others. Release the burden. Happiness is not a destination, but a way of traveling. Savor the journey. When the debate is lost, slander becomes the tool of the loser. A bird that flies off the earth and lands on an anthill is still on the ground. God has created lands with lakes and rivers for man to live in the desert so that he can find his soul. An empty pot makes the loudest noise. A person with too much ambition cannot sleep in peace. All monkeys cannot hang on the same branch. He who runs after good fortune runs away from peace. The man who marries a beautiful woman in, the farmer who grows corns by the roadside have the same problem. Ugliness with a good character is better than beauty. Do not do to others what angers you have done to you by others. A dead leopard is worth more than a live lion. Employ your time in improving yourself by other men's writing, so that you shall come easily by what others have labored hard for. The only woman who knows where her man is every night is a widow. Growth is a garden, not a race. Tend it with patience and care. The greatest way to live with honor in this world is to be what we pretend to be. Setbacks are inevitable, but they don't have to define your story. Rewrite the ending. Kindness to yourself is the root from which all other kindness grows. Let him that would move the world first move himself. He is a man of courage who does not run away, but remains at his post and fights against the enemy. The wise see what is unseen. A happy person is not a person in a certain set of circumstances, but rather a person with a certain set of attitudes. If you are filled with pride, then you will have no room for wisdom.